Ms. Mcdavid shared that I guess there's the new girlfriend with the Facebook posts. Previous to that, there was another woman that he was in a relationship that apparently there was some tension between those two women. And then there's the woman that testified last in court. And then Ms. Mcdavid, I'm not sure what her paramour situation is, but she did recently have another child. And
this is before the court on an original petition to suit infecting parent-child relationship. Anyway, the court will know for the record, we've been operating under temporary orders in this matter. My understanding is that we're going to have to reset to get, before we have a final hearing in this matter, and that reset is going to be to October 11th at the same time, using the same Zoom code on that date. However, there's my understanding is there are a couple of issues that the court needs to deal with this afternoon or this morning, and at this time, I'll go ahead and I'll start with the, I'll start with the private counsel first, and then I'll go to the state and the ad litem to tell the court what they want me to do here today as far as any further thing, temporary orders that are in contest between the parties. So at this time, like I say, I'll start with Ms. Greenwood, then go to Ms. Johnson, then go to Ms. Farah, and then I'll go to the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before I start, how much time do we have? I understand you said 11:30. I just want to confirm that's the correct time.
We're going. This hearing is going to be about 30 minutes at best. So, because I'm some of the things I've been hearing. Well, we'll see. We'll see, and why it changed from what the current temporary order is. Thank you. So I'll start with you then.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. My client still has some concerns regarding the proper supervision of the child while Mr. Ursin has the child in Louisiana. She has provided some pictures and documentation as to what has occurred while the child is in Louisiana. We're still having trouble with Mr. Ursin's mom adequately supervising the child. And we'll just like to have her testify as to what her concerns are, a very short testimony as to what her concerns are. But it's the adequate supervision of the child while in Louisiana. And then she would just prefer that the visitation takes place here. We understand that we've been reset for October 11th. And so if we could do just one, we're asking for 1 weekend prior to that, to the next court date, but she's asking for it to take place here just because of the concerns that she has that Mr. Ursin's mother is not adequately supervising the child.
Okay, I'm sorry. She's an eyewitness to these things.
She has documentation screenshots of the child that she got from Facebook, where the child was supposed to be at one place, but the screenshots from the Facebook messages show that that's not what was happening. That the child was in fact with Mr. Ursin's new girlfriend, Joy, where the child was doing makeup with Mr. Ursin's new girlfriend. We do have a picture where also Mr. Ursin is with the child and also what is looking like he's holding a vape pen. And so there's time. So those are some of the concerns that she has, like their documentation of the child not being with Mr. Mcdavid, but being with his girlfriend and not with his mother's actually supervising.
All right, that's iffy. All right, anything else?
And yep, so she's just asking for the visitation to take place here. That's pretty much it. Is that we've talked about a weekend, but if the visitation were to take place here, we may need another weekend, a different weekend, but we're just asking that the visitation takes place here in Houston, Texas, or Harris County, Fort Bend.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Heather Nicole Johnson for the father, Shamar Ursin. And Your Honor, if I may respond to Ms. Greenwood's concerns with respect to the possession schedule or the possession obligations with respect to the possession schedule in this case. From my understanding, and I am coming from behind in this game, so to speak, but from my understanding, my client was ordered or rendered the right to exercise possession by driving from his residence in Louisiana to Marlin, Texas. On several occasions, the child has not been exchanged. Ms. Mcdavid has not provided or shown up with the child or produced the child to exchange the child with my client for his periods of possession. And he has had to go back to Louisiana childless, empty-handed. So my concern as being newly retained on this case was in a situation like this, where you have one parent who is eager to co-parent and you have another parent who's blocking and looking for ways around the court order or complying with the court order, there needs to be some sort of obligation that she has to ensure that this child is able to spend time with her father as the court has granted him the right to do. And in doing so, since we've had a history of there not being a clear-cut answer as to where the mother resides, I understand at one point she was testifying or has presented to the court that she resides in Marlin, Texas, that the child was enrolled in school in Marlin, Texas, and this has been ongoing up until 8:59 this morning, when we received notice or confirmation that the child was enrolled in school in Sugar Land, Texas. So if mom is going to play these kinds of games, hopping around the state of Texas or the lower part of the state with the child and not wanting to be truthful with the court, I think that it is, you know, incumbent upon her to be given some sort of obligation that implores her to act to help make sure that my client does in fact get to exchange his daughter. So that was where the idea came in. He has the same amount or the approximate same amount of mileage coming from where he's coming from in the New Orleans, greater New Orleans area. And she has approximately the same amount of mileage in the area she's coming from, now that she has confirmed that the child resides in Houston, Texas, or in the Houston, Texas area. I think that it's only fair, especially considering that my client has paid or spent gas money and travel expenses to go to Marlin for no reason, for nothing, only to end up empty-handed. And I think that it's only fair just to show, or just to make sure that both parents are pulling their weight in making sure that Harley is able to spend time with her dad. That is why we're asking the court to order these visits be halfway.
All right, it's fair.
Yes, Your Honor. As the court may recall, in the numerous hearings that we've had up until right before the hearing, I don't know if it was 8:59 or 9:03 or whatever it is, Ms. Mcdavid has testified on every case that she has resided between Marlin, Dallas, Houston. She's always committed that she lives in Marlin, but that the child we've seen has been with her at a residence in Dallas, at a residence in Houston. She was enrolled full-time at a daycare preschool in the Katy area. As of right before our hearing today, the child is now enrolled in Fort Bend ISD, which is on the outskirts of Houston. Your Honor, I just want stability for my client. I've met with her in person twice. There's discussion of me meeting with her in person on September the 29th down in Houston. I'm willing to go down there and speak with her. I just want there to be consistency. And the amount of back and forth and drama that she has been exposed to by these people is frankly infuriating. I really wish that they would show as much love for their child as they show hate for each other. And so I just want there to be consistency. There have been a number of concerns that have been brought to me today. I mean, after the hearing was supposed to have been started, relating to Ms. Mcdavid's concerns with Harley in Mr. Ursin's care. And I'm not saying that those concerns aren't legitimate, but and then yesterday I was given concerns by the father for the child's care in when she's with the mother. Again, this is less than 24 hours before court. And so I would ask, and I would implore the parties to please notify me of these issues prior to us showing up to court, or 24 hours before. In order for me to adequately do my job, I have to be able to investigate these things. In speaking with the parties or the counsel, the child does have an iPad, and I know that it's unorthodox, but if there is geo-tracking on the iPad, both parties can always see where the child is. That may, if there's the Find My Friends or whatever, that may bring some comfort to the parents to know where their daughter is. And I mean, both of these parties have moved on to new relationships, and this is not a divorce, and this is but if the court would order that the child not be exposed to any romantic paramours, ex paramours, I think that it would be best at this time. Ms. Mcdavid shared that I guess there's the new girlfriend with the Facebook posts. Previous to that, there was another woman that he was in a relationship that apparently there was some tension between those two women. And then there's the woman that testified last in court. And then Miss Mcdavid, I'm not sure what her paramour situation is, but she did recently have another child. And so if there was a mutual injunction not to expose the child to any paramours until the final hearing, I think that it would be in the child's best interest. And Miss Mcdavid voiced a concern to me regarding the visitations not being, that Mr. Ursin is not present for the visitations. And so if there was, some, obviously within reason, if he has to run to the store and get a gallon of milk, that's different, but that the visitations are for him to spend time with his daughter. And so I think that that's the totality of my request right now. There's a bunch of things I need to run down, so I can't really make a recommendation with regard to what the visitations, if they need to change at all, because both of these people have given me some new information to check into. So I would just really, really ask these people to try to pretend to like each other for the sake of my client.
All right. State have anything in it? This doesn't sound like the state's bailiwick on this one, but does the state have anything to as far as what the state's requesting me to do here today?
I don't have anything about the visitation, Your Honor. I just want you to be aware that since we had never received anything from Mr. Ursin for as far as the retro, that they have agreed to provide his pay information, income information, either by tax forms or paycheck stubs or W-2s for the year 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And then also some information, bank statements or whatever regarding, I don't know if you recall the last time there was some testimony that he had sold a house. So the information about what he purchased the house for and what he sold the house for. And then Ms. Mcdavid is going to provide us a current benefit page from her job for health insurance costs and dental insurance costs. And I didn't think about this till a while ago, but if there's if anybody has an objection to this, let me know. But if everybody could maybe provide all of that information to me and to each other by October 1st, that would be good, because then we can all look at it. So that's really all I have, Your Honor.
All right, then let's get some testimony, folks. And again, Ms. Greenwood, here's the deal. Make sure that any evidence you have concerning Facebook or anything like that can get past the hearsay exceptions, okay? Because they are hearsay, and AI can do anything these days. All right. So and I mean that for that kind of, especially for that kind of job, okay?
Yes,
So.
sir.
So that's what I want to see that, and I need to know what specifically your client is requesting we do as far as what type of business. Because my understanding is there may be some request that it needs to be at a certain spot, something along those lines. So let me get. I'll make sure you bring that out. So at this time, Mr. Ursin, Ms. Mcdavid, raise your right hands. Both solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will help you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, you're both officially on the oath, and I'll go ahead and I'll start with you, Ms. Greenwood, since you're the one asking for the mod of the quasi-mod of the temporary order. I'll let you start. Thank you. Call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Ms. Mcdavid.
Ms. Mcdavid, state your full name for the record, ma'am.
Yes, Arisha Jasmine Mcdavid.
All right, you may proceed, Ms. Greenwood.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, Ms. Mcdavid, when was the last visitation exchange between you and Mr. Ursin?
The first weekend of August.
Okay, and did that exchange go?
He was late and he did not follow court order as far as the judge presented in previous times about notifying me of coming and going, like before he's coming and before, pick up and drop off.
Okay, so just to confirm with the court, he didn't notify you in time regarding the pickup and drop off, correct?
Correct.
And that in addition to him being late, but was he able to pick up your daughter, Harley? And then did he bring back Harley?
His mom picked her up and she cried and refused to get out the car. I had to actually force her out the car.
Okay. All right. And then was there any other visitation that took place prior to the August one?
It's the July one where Judge Nelson gave him the 4th through the 21st of July. And I agree. I stated, let's give him an extra day so they won't be on the highway. She did go on that visit as well.
Got it. And so, and then it was mentioned that you have denied Mr. Ursin access. Was that during the time that we were waiting for trying to schedule a new court date after the May 21st hearing?
Yes, I've never denied him or failed to give him the child, nor has he ever came to Central Texas to pick up
Your
his
Honor,
child.
I'm sorry, I objected. I didn't realize I was on mute. I
Okay,
object.
sustain. Here's the deal, ma'am. Listen to the question and answer the question. Don't try to explain things to the judge or to everybody else, or put your spin on it. Just answer the question and stop. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you, Your Honor. So have you ever, it was mentioned that you denied access to, you denied Mr. Ursin from picking up Harley, to your knowledge, is that correct?
No, that's not correct. No.
Got it. And then if there was any time that you denied him access, was that possibly denied him access, was that during the interim of when we were waiting to schedule another hearing?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And if there was a denial that took place, was it because you weren't sure of what was
Objection leading, Your Honor.
Sustain. Sorry. That's pretty weak. Don't lead your witness. Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to hurry up. Okay.
I know
All
you
right.
gotta speed it up. We got time. We got time. Don't worry. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So if okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. And was Mr. Ursin supposed to your understanding, was Mr. Ursin scheduled to have the child in June?
No, we were waiting for the court stuff, the court information.
Okay.
And I tried. Okay.
Thank you. All right. All right. So you have do you have concerns of of supervision of who is supervising Harley while Mr. Ursin has the child?
Yes.
Okay. And what are your concerns regarding supervision when Harley is in Louisiana with Mr. Ursin?
When I would try to contact her, I'm told one thing, that she's at one place, but then when checked up on her tablet, that was incorrect, because according to the tablet, based off that the location of
I'm
the
going
picture.
to object to hearsay that I'm told, and I don't know what that even means.
The
Yeah,
mom,
I'm
when
gonna
I called,
overrule, wait a second, ma'am. I'm ruling here. I'm gonna go ahead and overrule the objection at this point, ma'am, but you need to be really, really specific, and someone telling you where the child is and not there or something along those lines, that doesn't tell me anything about supervision. That's just
Okay.
telling me they're not telling you where she is all the time, all right? So if you're here to tell me that there's a problem with supervision, you need to get to what that problem is, ma'am. Thank you.
okay, sure. So when I called to FaceTime, the mom does answer, Miss Marilyn, she will answer. And on 2 occasions when I called, she told me that Harley was next door playing, and which I'm okay with that. I have no questions or concerns on that part. But then when Harley comes back and I see pictures in her
Okay.
tab, oh, go ahead, because those pictures and everything are time stamped, and it shows like the address and stuff like that, of course, of where those are. And I'm like, that's a little different, because I know what time I called, in which I could pull my phone record versus that specific time, and that was not it. And then also, Mr. Ursin actually had someone that posted a picture of his child, because they were feuding. 2 women were feuding, and posted a picture of his child
Ma'am, stop,
in
stop,
August,
stop,
and said
stop,
unsupervised.
Miss Mcdavid, listen to the question, answer the question, and stop, ma'am. You're going way past the question again. I'm getting ready to have to come down on both of y'all, and nobody's gonna like it, but I'm getting ready to do it. So, and I'm gonna do it my way. So, but the bottom line is, ma'am,
I could rephrase the question, Your Honor.
you're answering your questions with information about, well, the tablet was here, they say she was there, and that doesn't tell the court anything about supervision. If you say you got a supervision problem, you tell me what the supervision problem is. And if that's the supervision problem, that's not it. So you need to come up with another piece of nomenclature for that, what you're trying to say here. or because I hadn't heard anything dealing with supervision yet, ma'am. So
Okay,
I'll let you
Okay.
I'll let you and your attorney get to that point. Thank you.
okay.
All right. When Harley is in Louisiana, are you able to speak with her?
Through the grandmother, yes. Mr. Ursin, when I ask him, he won't FaceTime me for her.
All right. And then you mentioned speaking, and to your knowledge, who's supposed to be supervising Harley when Mr. Ursin has Harley?
The grandmother,
Okay.
his
And
mom.
his mom. And then what are your concerns? Do you think that his mom is adequately supervising Harley when she's there?
No.
And why do you think that? Why is that your opinion that you don't think she's being properly supervised by
Your Honor, I would object to speculation. I mean, unless she was there.
All right, unless okay, ma'am, unless you're an eyewitness to what you're about to testify to, you cannot testify to it. So tell us what you actually have seen, or that either Mr. Ursin or his mother actually told you. Those are the only two exceptions, ma'am.
Okay. So what I've actually seen is a picture of Harley on
Okay,
social
ma'am,
media.
no, that's not, stop. I know you're not a lawyer, ma'am, but pictures not in evidence are not, they can't be done, ma'am. It can't be done that way. You got to actually be an eyewitness live or eyewitness video, something along those lines. You're gonna tell the court about a picture, then that picture has to be offered as evidence, and it has to be accepted as being non-hearsay, and before we can let you even talk about it. So unless you actually saw something or they actually told you something, that's it, ma'am. So thank you.
Okay. Well, Harley. Okay.
And you can't tell what the child said either. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I will say this, that as far as when I have spoken with the grandmother has told me that Harley was somewhere else.
Okay, so I'm sorry, ma'am, and that's my fault. You can only testify to what Mr. Ursin has said. You cannot testify to something a third party said who's not a party to the case. Okay?
I've tried to communicate with him when Harley is there, just like if he tried to reach out to me, when she's with me, but he won't communicate with me.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
That's so. Go ahead. Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. What led you to believe that the mom is not adequately supervising Harley?
The things that I've seen in the tablet and what I've seen on social media that was posted from a stranger that I don't know.
Okay. Okay. And you said social media. What social media was that?
Facebook.
And whose social media was that?
Joy.
Okay. And who, to your knowledge, from what you saw, who was Joy?
The girlfriend of 1 month.
Okay. The girlfriend of who?
1 month.
The girlfriend of who?
Ma'am, don't give a time frame. Just the girlfriend. What? I'm sorry. Repeat the question and answer the question. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you. So Shamar's girlfriend. Okay. And then did you go on her page?
Yes, she posted it.
Okay. All right.
Someone informed me.
Okay. And I'm going to.
Ms. Greenwood, I don't want to see this. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
All right. What's the relevance? That's what I'm trying to get to. What is the relevance here, guys? If she's somewhere with someone, they got a post, they did this, what shows whether or not she's been properly supervised? I'm thinking supervision, making sure the child doesn't fall down and get hurt, making sure she doesn't run into the street, making sure she's properly taken care of. That's supervision. That she's somewhere at a different spot that mom didn't think she was at, that doesn't have a darn thing to do with supervision. So get me, if you're trying to tell me it's about supervision, get me something about supervision and not what's on a Facebook page, okay? Because that doesn't tell me anything about whether or not the child's been properly supervised.
Okay. Are you in agreement that while this case is pending, do you agree that both parties should not have, during the visitations, that neither party should have people that they're seeing present when Harley's around?
I'm okay with that. The only thing I ask, just do not have Harley in the mix of anything, because that's how she ended up on social media, because of feuds back there in Louisiana, not Texas.
Okay, I'm not sure I got that answer to that question. All right.
So I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. I can clear that up. I'm not saying that he, okay, he can't, like, whoever he's dating or whatever the case, don't have Harley around that person, because I'm not saying that person is a threat if I don't know that person. But what I'm saying that is, just making sure that he is following through with the court order itself specifically. And if there is, as you stated before in previous times, Judge, Your Honor, that if what supervision is, and the last time we were in court, you explained to Ms. Marilyn, the grandmother, what you wanted as supervision, and she also asked you specifically what was it, because she needed clarification. So the whole thing for the social media was because that was not followed through as far as supervision, especially to put unsupervised on there. But as far as saying Mr. Ursin cannot date,
Ma'am, that's what you have.
but I'm not
You
doing
have
that.
spoken for 2 minutes about that, and have not gotten close to answering your lawyer's question.
I
Okay?
did. She asked.
No,
I
ma'am.
did. She asked me, did I have a problem
All right,
with?
stop. Court's taking a 5-minute recess. Thank you. We're off the record for now. Ms. Greenwood, get your client in the breakout room, talk to her, all right? Because the judge is getting ready to do something that she's not gonna like, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, no. Trying to make everything this right.
You started
Let me
breaking.
ask a question. I have a question, just so I'm clear. The supervision component, that was for summer possession, right? With the grandmother and mom, I'm sorry, grandmother and dad?
It's been in place since the very beginning.
Okay. And so the August visit, the one visit she had in August, was that in fact supervised?
Was it supposed to be, or was
I mean,
it?
that's what I meant to ask. Was it
Yeah.
supposed to be supervised?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And you know what I probably should do? Do you have copies of all of the orders?
Well, yesterday, I know Nora sent me one after the March order, so I think I do now.
Okay.
But I was missing that one because I only
Okay.
had the one that was dated March 19th, 2024.
Okay. Do you have the one from June 28th, 2024?
That's the one that Nora sent me yesterday.
Okay.
So I have it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I have it now.
Yeah, I apologize. I just realized that you probably didn't have those.
No. I'm pulling up that one now. Okay. I don't see, and I'm looking through it. Hang on, let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So he only had the first weekend, that first Thursday of August, and then there was no more visitation on the table for him for the rest of the month. Okay. And in regards to that,
Yeah, the judge had ordered that because he knew we were coming back.
right. And so just so I'm clear, where does it say in this order? It says, I saw that it says that, okay, I see. All periods of possession shall be supervised by Marilyn J. Ursin. If Marilyn J. Ursin does not travel with Shamar Ursin to pick up the child, he shall take the child directly to the home of Marilyn Ursin. Okay. All right, I got it. And just curious, Nora, just to know your position, or do you think at this stage that supervised visits are still warranted?
If we can't get,
Sorry, I'm back, so no discussion about the case.
Okay.
Thank you.
that was my thought. That's why I was hesitant.
Oh, I didn't realize that we were still, okay. Can I go into a breakout room with you really quick then, or call you? Can I call you? I'll call you.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll meet
I have
you.
a question as well, if someone can answer for me.
Oh, no, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You can talk to your son's attorney after the hearing. I know you've been in here the whole time. You're not testifying today as a witness. That's why I let you stay in here, stay in here all this time.
Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, I'm gonna run to the restroom again. I'll be right back. If they come back, y'all can start without me, but I won't be gone long.
All right, we'll wait for you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, we should be able to wrap this up. I don't think Miss Overstreet's missing.
If she's on a break, she's good. She's coming right back. Thank you.
No problem, Your Honor.
I think,
You're okay.
All right, we're back on the record on Falls County calls number CV 41,657. Right now, Ms. Greenwood is eliciting testimony from Ms. Mcdavid, and you may proceed at this time, Ms. Greenwood. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mcdavid, are you concerned if Harley is with someone else other than Miss Ursin and his mom? Does that concern you?
No.
Okay. So is it your testimony that for the court, if someone else is taking care of your daughter and it's not Mr. Ursin or the mom, you have no concerns about that? Is that your testimony?
Oh, no. I do have concerns with that part. Yes, I'm sorry. I do apologize about that.
Okay. All right. And so when you saw that that when you saw that Facebook post and Mr. Ursin wasn't present, is that what made you, was that your concern regarding supervision?
On a speculation.
Sustain. First off, again, unless she was there and could see if he was there one way or the other, unless there was a 360-degree photo, then again, I gotta sustain that one easily. So you may proceed.
Got it.
Thank you.
So just to confirm with the court, if your daughter is with someone that's not either the father or the grandmother while in Louisiana, that does concern you.
Yes.
Okay. And you'd want it to be until, and so you're asking the court to reaffirm that. Are you asking this court to reaffirm that when your daughter is with Mr. Ursin, that it's only between at least one of those parties need to be present with your daughter at all times, with the exception of, you know, going to the bathroom or something? Is that what you're asking this court for?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And when you were bringing up supervision, that is what triggered your concerns for the supervision concerns, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have you had any trouble with Mr. Ursin notifying you in regards to picking up or dropping off the child?
Yes.
And what are those concerns with notification?
He failed to actually follow through with the court order on how to reach out to me or communicate to let me know, like, if he's running late, or even letting me know, like, hey, I'm going to pick up the child tomorrow, and, you know, we're going to fly, or even if he didn't give me the flight information or whatever, but just, you know, letting me know in the time frame, like the judge told him, prior to 24 to 48 hours prior to pickup. I don't get that information.
Okay. And is that one of the
Whether
concerns you're
pick up
trying
or
to?
drop off.
Okay. So your concern is that there's a lack of notification in regards to pickup and drop off, and you want to, correct?
Correct.
All right. Are you trying to, are you trying to prevent, do you want Mr. Ursin to have a relationship with his daughter?
Yes.
Okay. And, okay. And with you when did you designate Houston as your current resident?
Basically the 1st of August of this
Okay.
year, 2020.
Okay. And then why did you choose to designate Houston as your primary residence?
Because I recently had a baby over the summer, and then not only that, my main office is in Houston, but my Central Texas location where we were were at, we were affected by the storm. A tree fell on the home, and so it's being remodeled and reconstruction. And then another tree fell on the carport where it messed up one of my vehicles, and I had to put it into the shop. So while that's, you know, being done or whatever, I was like, you know what, we'll just go, because she's not in daycare anymore to where she can just go with me. She would have to be in actual school unless I put her into a pre-K program, like a private pre-K program. So I decided to, for that stability and everything else, just to go ahead and enroll her in the Houston area. So I did enroll her in on August the 7th, and school started the day before on August 8th, and she's been there. There's absolutely no problem.
Okay. And where is she enrolled? I know this is Stream Judge. Can we talk about where the child is enrolled, or is that not, you don't want?
Yeah, that's just the ISD.
Okay. All right. What ISD?
And I do have for Mr. Ursin, because I did advise him that I was going to bring that information for today. But I have a contact person that I want to make sure I share with him, because
Ma'am, court, but yeah, let the lawyer ask the question, then answer the question, and don't.
Got it.
Okay.
And ma'am, no more caffeine today, okay? Please. All right. Sorry. I'll drink enough for both of us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And so prior to enrolling the child in Fort Bend ISD, was she enrolled in Marlin ISD?
Yes, she was.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm sorry. She was enrolled, but she did not start there. I just want to make sure I clear that for the record. She did not start there because it was just days later. So I want to make sure I put that there.
Got it. Okay. All right. And with you now, with your primary residence being Houston, where would you want the pickup and exchange to be? I'm sorry, let me clarify. For Mr. Ursin to exercise his visitation, where would you want that to be?
Sugarland Police Station.
Okay.
They have a few, but anyone, but in the Sugarland area preferably, because that's where she goes to school.
Okay. And prior to you moving, where would Mr. Ursin pick up?
Police station for Falls County in Marlin, Texas.
Okay. And is the distance less from Falls County? Would it be a less distance from Falls County? Would he be driving less?
Yeah, Houston is closer to Louisiana compared to Falls, but Marlin. Marlin was about 2 hours longer.
Okay, and so now you're asking him to, so are you asking this court for him to just do the same pickup and drop off, just in Sugar Land Police Department now, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. And so you're asking, okay, are you asking this court that when it comes to notification, are you asking this court for Mr. Ursin to abide by the 24-hour, the set time for him to notify to pick up the child? Are you asking the court to admonish him to do that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. How do you and Mr. Ursin communicate?
Up close, I know up close, but then I know I don't have a problem with him reaching out via text because it's still black and white, especially if it's in regard to our child. But it's been through up close here recently because he just started using that in June. He just started using that here recently. He wasn't always using the up close.
Okay, and are you asking this court for you guys to continue to communicate through app close when it comes to just discussion regarding the child?
Yes.
Regarding Harley? Okay. And nighttime, because of the distance, are you okay with Mr. Ursin having nighttime calls with Harley via iPad, Zoom, however, to have that electronic communication?
Absolutely. I have no problem with him calling her anytime. I mean, if she's at school, I will let him know. She'll give him a call or whatever, or at a, after school event or something. But I have no problem with him doing that.
Okay.
Never had.
Okay. Okay. So would you like him to have nighttime calls at least a few times a week?
He can call every day. I'm not gonna stop him from wanting to call and speak to his child. I'm not doing that. So
Okay.
he can definitely call.
Okay. All right. And you've heard that this case has been reset to October 11th. Are you opposed to Mr. Ursin exercising a weekend visitation with Harley?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not against that.
Okay. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Johnson, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mcdavid, did you receive a copy, or you did receive a copy of the second temporary order in suit affecting the parent-child relationship in this case, correct?
Yes.
The one dated June 28th, 2024?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I share my screen?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
David? Okay. And what is it?
That is the actual court document for what we're supposed to go by.
Okay. And so you testified previously minutes ago to with your attorney that my client does not comply with the court orders, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so you've read or reviewed this court order, I'm assuming, correct?
Correct.
Yet you still failed to comply with the court order as well, correct?
How did I fail to comply? I cannot say if I failed if you're not telling me how.
Well, I'm asking. You
No,
also
I've not failed. I have not failed to.
No, not argue, rephrase the question, Ms. Johnson, to make it an actual question and tell her how you allege she's failing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Do you see here the statutory warnings on page 12, Ms. Mcdavid? Right here. Can you see those?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's go down here.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the one for June the 20. What is it? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we're on this.
This is the same order you just said you had a copy of, dated June 28, 2024.
Okay.
And you've also testified that you've already reviewed this order, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So going back down to page 12 of the order, I'm going to take you to a paragraph and I'm going to try to highlight this with my mouse and you can tell me if you see it in blue. Can you read what this states in the order?
Yes, it says each person who is a party to this order is ordered to notify each other party, the court and the state case registry of any change in the party's current residency address, mailing address, home telephone number, email address, name of employer. I'm sorry, you're scooting down and messing me up as I'm reading with the highlight, but I can read further down if you want me to do that. Address of employment, driver's license, number, and work telephone number. Okay.
Okay, and the next sentence, please.
The party is ordered to give notice of an intended change in any of the required information to each other party, the court, and the state case registry on or before the 60th day before the intended change.
Okay, thank you very much. And Your Honor, I move to admit fathers 1 into evidence.
What's Father's 1 again?
This is the second, this is the court's
I'm just taking judicial notice of the court's order, ma'am.
judicial notice.
It's not,
Yeah,
I don't make that as evidence. I'll just take judicial notice of the court
That's
order.
fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Either way. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. So Ms. McDavid, you did not, and well, let's go back. When did you say that you moved to or relocated to the Houston, Texas
Johnson,
area?
I'm thinking this is more along the lines of something for final. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what to do for attempt.
No, Your Honor, I'm going somewhere. I promise you, I'm going somewhere.
All right, well, well, it's 12
I'll
minutes.
go
so
quickly.
yes,
I'll go
thank you.
quickly. I'll go quickly. You
Thank
did not notify the court of your change of address, did you, Ms. McDavid?
I did not.
Okay, and you did not notify Mr. Ursin that you had relocated with his daughter to the Houston area,
Can
correct?
I get it? Can you?
No, I just need a
froze up.
yes or
Can you hear me?
no.
Are
I
you able
just
to
need a
see?
yes or no.
Can you
Yes,
hear me?
I can see you. Is a yes or no question.
Okay.
You did not notify the court of your change of address, correct?
I was notified today, yes.
Objection, non-responsive after yes, or before yes. There we go. Your Honor, I don't know if you want to rule on that before I proceed.
I'm gonna sustain the objection, ma'am. Again, it's a yes or no. What did you know?
No, I did not notify you guys the 60 days
Thank you.
prior to, because I didn't know 60 days prior to.
Ma'am,
Objection.
you see, there you go. You're
Oh.
explaining things again. You can't do that when you're a
Okay.
witness.
Okay. No problem. I do apologize about
that. No, and then your lawyer can do things on redirect to bring you back out. So thank you.
Okay.
And Ms. McDavid, you also did not notify Mr. Ursin, correct? I don't think I heard you answer that question.
No.
Okay. And you also did not notify the Office of the Attorney General, correct? Okay, so it's fair to say that you're not complying with the court order as well, correct?
I guess that verbiage,
It
yes.
speaks for itself. Move on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, and also, Ms. McDavid, with respect to the concerns that you have related to my client having unsupervised possession with his daughter or possession time with his daughter, has Harley ever come back to you with any injuries?
And she has had some bruises. I will not say that that was something he did.
Well, let me be more
No,
specific in the question. Has Harley returned from a period of possession with Mr. Ursin with any bruises or injury, or I was just saying with any injuries?
Yes, she's had some bruises, but she's a kid, so I don't think that he did anything to her. I think she
Okay,
probably did that
perfect.
by playing
So
with
we
some
don't
of her
have any,
family down there.
okay, so we don't have any concerns to her physical safety. You would agree, correct?
When she's in the possession of the grandmother, no.
That wasn't the question. I asked you, do you have any concerns about her physical safety when she's in Louisiana with Mr. Ursin?
Yes, I do have concerns, not just for the
I
bruises
said
though. But
physical. We're only talking physical, and you're not going to talk over me. Just let me finish the question. The question is, do you have any concerns as it relates to Harley's physical well-being when she is in Louisiana with Mr. Ursin?
yes.
Okay. And my follow-up question to that is, have there been any injuries that Harley has sustained outside of just the normal kid stuff as you described? Is there any, or have there been any instances where Harley has been injured in Louisiana with Mr. Ursin? Yes or no? No. Okay. Have there been any instances where Harley became ill in Louisiana with Mr. Ursin and Mr. Ursin did not seek medical care for her?
I cannot answer that because he would not tell me. If I call, he barely, I mean, you're asking me a question. I'm sorry, I can't.
To the
say
best of
yes
your
or no.
knowledge, ma'am, all questions are always to the best of your knowledge, ma'am. To the best of your knowledge, is that the answer, the question that was asked by counsel?
I'm not sure. That's something I cannot answer. I cannot say yes or no on because he don't tell me.
Well, ma'am, if you don't, okay, you can say you don't know, but you have no proof that he's done something to the contrary, correct?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and so has Harley ever returned home to Texas from Louisiana during Mr. Ursin's possession time? Has she ever returned to Texas with any sort of emotional problems? Has she come back crying nonstop? Has she come back sad? Has she come back in any, not talking? Has her behavior changed or does her behavior change in any way when she returns from Louisiana to Texas?
Yes.
Okay. How does her behavior change when she returns from Louisiana to Texas?
every time she cries and tells me she don't want to go back.
Okay,
Objection
and
to
then-
hearsay.
stop. Here we go again. Ma'am, don't testify to anything anyone else says, especially the child, all right?
What she does,
You can't,
well,
you not, stop.
oh,
All right, guys. Y'all want to do this after lunch today? We're getting ready to do this after lunch today.
No, Your Honor.
And I don't want to, yeah, I can't, I'm not, and I got to pay a lawyer. Here's the deal. I'm getting ready just to start making rulings, and I get to do what I want to do. Because here's the deal, man. I keep telling you how you got to do this, and you keep butting heads with me. I'm getting ready to hold you in contempt and fine you. Do you understand, ma'am? And I'm going to start at $500 if this doesn't stop. All right? So listen to the question, answer the question, and then stop. If next time you do something different, it's a $500 fine for contempt and 5 days in Falls County Jail. Understand? I get to do that because this is my court, and this is getting out of hand, and I'm too darn old for this. All right? So let's do this. Now, next time you go beyond the question, $500. Understood? Next time after that, 5 days, Falls County Jail. Got it? Understood. All right. Next question, Ms. Johnson. Let's do it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was asking you, Mrs. McDavid, if Harley returns with any emotional issues, and you described bouts of her crying. Is that what I heard you say or testify to?
yes,
Okay, and Harley is 4 years old or 5 years old?
4.
4 years old. So you would agree that 4-year-olds, it's normal for 4-year-olds to cry as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so technically, or for the purposes of this hearing, you are not being 100% truthful when you say that her behavior changes when she comes back from Louisiana, if you're also saying or agreeing with me that it is normal or typical for a 4-year-old to cry, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so then when Harley returns to Texas from Louisiana, just so we're clear for Judge Nelson, when Harley returns from Louisiana to Texas, you testified that she has no substantive injuries outside of the normal kids' injuries, correct?
Correct.
You also just testified that when she returns to Texas from Louisiana after being with Mr. Ursin, that she cries, but that is typical for a 4-year-old, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And have there been any instances that you're aware of where Mr. Ursin has driven Harley around without a seatbelt on?
Yes, but I mean, I am aware that he has done that. But that is, again, as Judge Nelson said earlier, unless I see it visually myself and take the picture, I guess, myself, I cannot say that, like that, I can't really use that. So, but I do
But
know
you
that he
have
does
no
that.
personal knowledge of Mr. Ursin not putting a seatbelt on Harley in the vehicle.
Have I seen it myself personally?
No, I
Yes,
said
but
you have no personal knowledge. You've not witnessed this directly yourself, correct?
I have. No, I have. That's what I'm saying. I have, but I never took a picture of it. And so, in light of, as Judge Nelson was saying earlier, I cannot say unless I have physical evidence where I took the picture.
So when is the last time you've been in the car with Mr. Ursin and Harley?
It's been at least 2 years now.
Okay, all right. Next question. Let's see. And you also testify that you have no problem with Harley having a relationship with my client, correct?
Correct.
Yet you monitor the phone calls that my client has with Harley on the iPad, correct?
No.
So you're not in the background watching Harley while she's having a conversation or talking to her dad on the iPad, Mrs. McDavid?
No.
So you're not telling Harley to hang up the iPad, Mrs. McDavid?
No.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
all right. Do you smoke?
No.
Do you vape?
No.
Do you drink?
I do not drink. I just had a baby.
Before you were pregnant, did you drink?
Objection relevance, Your Honor.
Before the pregnancy, did you consume legal substance, call alcohol? Did you drink, ma'am?
Yes, I did.
So I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Oh, so it's fair to say that you're going to go back to drinking again at some point, correct?
Objection speculation.
Sustained. I don't care about who drank.
Well, Your Honor, I'm going through the list of the accusations of vaping, drink, all of
Well,
these
get to the
things.
vaping one, but still.
Well, yeah, I asked her if she smoked. She said she doesn't.
Right. Legal, the courts, you
Yeah.
know, again, it doesn't carry any weight one way or the other.
Right.
You know, I hear a lot of stuff up here, but I've got to toss out the stuff that's not relevant to the court. And so long as what everybody's doing is legal, that's why I don't like putting them in my court orders. If someone's not allowed to have a beer while the kids with them on the weekend and during football season, which is crazy. So, you know, so again, so long as it's legal and so long as they're not doing it and driving under the influence or anything along those lines, you can ask them questions about that, obviously, easily. But as long as whatever the function is legal, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And last question, Mrs. McDavid. Who all lives in your household?
Myself and Harley and my new child that I just had. Well, for Houston.
You have more than one residence?
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, I do, and I did, like I said earlier, is doing the renovations from the Central Texas storm. But the residency that I'm currently at now, that I've shared with the courts, never hit that at all. It's just myself, Harley, and my other child.
Okay. So is it fair to say that when Harley is at your home, that you have visitors and friends and family come over to your home?
Yeah, I don't really have visitors here,
Yes.
but okay.
Okay. So when you have visitors there and Harley is there, who's there to monitor or supervise Harley then?
Myself, no one other than
Okay.
myself.
So other than you, no one is there to supervise Harley. So what is the difference between you supervising Harley on your own at your home around your family and your friends and my client, Mr. Ursin, having visitation at his home around his family and his friends after you just testified that Harley has sustained no physical or emotional damages when she is in Louisiana? So please tell the court what the difference is.
The reason for the supervision is because there were previous domestic violence disputes where Mr. Ursin was the attacker towards me. And right during our split up, he also, when me and my daughter Harley was actually in a home, he put gasoline around the home, and I had to call Dallas County Police Department.
Object, Your Honor, to the narrative, because the question was why. Okay.
But that's the. Oh,
Ms. Johnson, wrap this up. Thank you.
Oh, I've passed the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Where's the child? You say you got a second child now, correct?
Yes.
All right. Who's that child's father?
That child's father, his name is Maurice.
All right. And what's his location?
Bell County.
Okay. And does he come down to visit at all, or does he ever come to see his child, or pick up his child, or come visit his child at your residence?
Yes, he does.
How often?
Let's see. The last time was like 3 days ago.
Okay. All right. And
So I would say, I mean, he would be considered a frequent visitor. Yes, I can say that. Yes.
And does he stay the night there with you and the child and his child and the child before the court, ma'am?
Has he? Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Farah, you're a witness.
I don't have any questions, Your Honor. I think the court's heard everything.
It's been a fun time for sure. All right, anything real quick, I'm sorry, I'll let the state, I keep forgetting that this kind of stuff, believe me, I've been doing this too long to know the state doesn't ask many questions along these areas. So, but this time I'll allow you to have, Ms. Ostrich, to have your opportunity. Thank you.
I have no questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Greenwood, anything on redirect very quickly? Thank you.
Yes, just one question. Ms. McDavid, you're muted.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
When it comes to physical safety, are you concerned for Harley's physical safety when she's in Louisiana?
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
I'll go ahead and do it one more time because she can have the concerns, but right now I don't. So guess what? That's the one that counts. All right. So I had everything right there. It's gonna give me concerns. All parents have concerns, you know, but it's got to be substantiated. Thank you. So, ma'am, you can answer. You have those concerns.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
thank you.
And what specifically concerns you? Well,
The
okay,
thing.
got it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the thing that concerns.
Now I'm gonna sustain the objection. She's already told us everything already. Just repeating everything. You got anything new, ma'am?
No.
All right. If you got something new to tell me that's a concern, then fine. But if it's the same thing you already went over, I'm sustaining the objection. Next question.
Are you aware that Mr. Ursin is on probation?
Yes.
Let's go. Okay. Stop.
I was
Yeah.
going to bring up something new through that, but Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, as far as his ability to take care of the child, because right now, that's the only thing we're dealing with is the visitation we're gonna do until we come back and have a final hearing.
Okay.
Is that probation have something to do with that, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. Just well, not for his ability to take care of the child, but in regards to him possibly violating that probation.
No, again, without that without his probation order being here in evidence and the term and conditions, as far as what the court can say, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah, I believe it was admitted in one of the last hearings, but we could.
Anyway, now let's move on. Sorry.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
All right, anything else, Ms. Johnson?
I don't know if my client wishes to testify.
Well, I'm sorry, but for this witness,
Oh, no, Your Honor, nothing for this witness, no.
Sarah,
Nothing for this witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Overstreet?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Greenwood, any other witnesses? Well, the only witness you can call is the father, because I didn't kick Ms. Ursin out today because she's been sitting here the whole time, so she cannot be a witness. So any other witnesses you wish to call, ma'am?
Just Mr. Ursin, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ursin, you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name for the record, sir. All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ursin, when was your last visitation with Harley?
August.
Okay, can you do you call the specific dates that you had Harley?
Returned Harley on August 4th or 5th. I believe it was August 4th.
That you received her or returned her?
Returned.
And when did you receive her?
I would have to go back into my messages and look. Let me see, approximately July 30th.
Okay. All right. And then did you also get Harley in July?
Yes.
All righty. And where do you currently reside, Mr. Ursin?
LaPlace, Louisiana.
Okay. Do you live with anyone, Mr. Ursin?
Yes.
Who do you live with?
My girlfriend.
And how long have you lived there?
Almost 2 months.
Okay. And so with when you got Harley in, you said 2 months. So when you got Harley in
I said
July.
almost 2 months.
Almost 2 months. So do you have a specific kind of time frame when?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Almost 2 months would mean sometime in July. Are you in agreement with that?
That's fine.
Okay. And so when you had Harley, was your mom, with you living with your girlfriend's house, where was your mom when it came to supervising Harley?
On the last court hearing that we had, the judge stated on the record that Harley has to sleep at my mom's house.
So your understanding is that you could have Harley out doing whatever.
That's what the judge said in our last hearing.
Okay.
Okay. So is it your testimony that you bring Harley to your mom's house just to sleep during the
Yes.
visitation?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are you in contact with Lanika Raviter?
No.
Okay. When was your last contact with Lanika Raviter?
Move on, counselor. Who cares? If
Thank
she's
you, Your
in
Honor.
contact with her now, save it. Let's move on. Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. Are you opposed to traveling to Sugarland Police Department to pick up Harley?
Yes.
Why?
Because Arisha has lied the whole time saying that she lives in Marlin. From the beginning of this case, I told you guys that she lives in
Okay,
Houston.
sir.
She asked why. She asked why.
Okay, well, here's the deal, sir. If I order it, is there a problem?
If you ordered that I go there, no, it won't be a problem.
All right, thank you.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ursin, you are asking the court today to order the exchange place now be in Houston or the Sugarland area, is that correct?
Am I asking that? No.
You are not asking for a midpoint to pick up your daughter?
Sugarland is not the midpoint.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. The midpoint is Lake Charles. Mom is coming from Sugarland. You're asking the court today. I apologize, Mr. Ursin. My brain is working faster in my mouth, but the midpoint between Houston and where you currently reside is your testimony that would be approximately located in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Correct.
And are you asking the court today to order that the exchange place for the child be in Lake Charles, Louisiana?
Yes, ma'am.
And approximately how many hours is that from where you live?
3 hours.
And do you know how many hours it is approximately from Houston, where Ms. McDavid now tells us she lives?
2 hours.
Okay, so actually your drive would still be longer than hers at the midpoint, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you're asking the court to make that change today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, also with respect to your time with Harley, do you smoke?
I vape from time to time. Yes.
Okay, if the court were to order you to not vape in the presence of Harley when you're in possession of Harley, would you comply with that court's order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if the court were to enjoin anyone else around who may be around Harley when you have her, would you also be willing to remove Harley from those situations or environments if they're smoking as well?
Yes.
Okay, and in terms of supervising your daughter, Mr. Ursin, do you need supervision with your daughter?
I do not.
Have you ever harmed your daughter physically?
Never.
Have you ever harmed her emotionally?
Never.
Has anyone ever alleged that you physically harmed your daughter, to the best of
Never.
your knowledge?
Never.
Has anyone ever alleged, to the best of your knowledge, that you emotionally harmed Harley?
Never.
Okay, and with respect to the time that you do spend with Harley when she's in Louisiana, can you just tell the court the type of activities that you do with Harley when you guys have time together?
Yes, we have brought her cousins to the water park. They've been to Jump, which is a trampolines place that she likes. We go to Chuck E. Cheese. We've been fishing. I caught her a turtle. And while she was down here, she kept the turtle. And then before she left, we went to release the turtle. She likes to play with the dogs. So sometimes we go to the dog park. If that's enough, I'm just shooting off the top of my head, but if that's enough.
So is it fair to say that when Harley's with you, you guys are having a good time together?
Yeah, and she does like to do makeup. So my girlfriend
Okay.
is a professional makeup artist. So yeah, they play in makeup.
So she plays in makeup. Okay. And do you have any concerns with your girlfriend being around Harley when Harley's at your house?
No, just like I don't have any concerns with Arisha's boyfriend. No concerns.
Okay. And do you have concerns about Harley when she's with her mother?
None at all. As far as her safety,
Yes, and as far as her physical safety.
not further than the hair burns outside of
Yeah,
that.
and we'll get to that. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Do you have any other children, Mr. Ursin?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And how far does your mother live from where you currently reside?
20 minutes.
So you would have to then drive 20 minutes to bring Harley to her to go to bed and then 20 minutes back home?
Yes.
Okay. And do you find that to be burdensome in any way?
Yes, it is, but I make sure I do it.
Okay. And are you also asking the court to grant you electronic supplemental communication with Harley on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 7:30 to 8 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to order that Mrs. McDavid does not monitor or interfere with those FaceTime or phone conversations?
Yes, ma'am.
Something's echoing. I don't know what it is. Okay.
No telling whose microphone's picking you up, so don't worry about it.
Okay. Sorry about that, Judge.
That's okay, it happens. This is Zoom.
And the residence where you are currently living, is it an apartment or a house?
It's a home.
Okay. And how many bedrooms?
No, Johnson, you can save that for final, okay?
Okay, we'll stop.
Probably not gonna change anything for this one last visit or these two last visits, because I'm gonna double check that because I got looks like we're gonna have two first weekends of the month coming up before we come back for a final. So we'll double check that, but go right ahead. But we'll save that for right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Ursin, are you asking the court to grant you possession beginning on Friday, Friday before Labor Day weekend at 6 p.m. and ending on the following Monday, which would be Labor Day, the holiday. And I'm assuming you would drop off at 6 o'clock. Is that what you're asking for the court today, from the court
Yes.
today?
Yes, ma'am.
And just to be clear, the most recent order in this case did not give you any possession beyond the summer possession, correct?
Correct.
So you don't have any weekends already lined up since the first weekend in August?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Right. How much did it cost you? Well, actually, I'll withdraw that question. Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Farah.
Yes, sir. Where, just very briefly, Mr. Ursin, where are you working and what are your wages at this time?
O'Reilly's Auto Parts, $14 an hour.
Okay, so the same job that you had the last time we were here, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when Harley was with you during the summertime, other than the time that you were working, what was the longest period of time that you were away from Harley?
Meaning exactly in the same room, or what do you mean?
In the
Other than me working, none.
Okay. So, you know, when Harley was with your girlfriend, were you?
Yeah, I was in another room. They were in the makeup room.
Okay. And on the night that Harley was with you during the summer visitation that you had, where was she spending the night?
She was spending the night at my mom's house. She has a curfew, so my mom tells me to have her back at the house by 10 o'clock.
Were you spending the night with her at your mother's house, or were you dropping her off and leaving?
Sometimes I would stay, sometimes I would go back home.
Okay. And let's see here. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Pass witness.
All right, Ms. Overstreet.
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Greenwood, anything on redirect? Make it quick, please. Thank you.
Got it. Yeah, just a few questions. Mr. Ursin, you don't know exactly where do you know exactly where Miss Mcdavid lives in Houston?
No, not interested.
Okay, so you can't say for sure that she is 2 hours away from Lake Charles.
I can say approximately. I know where Houston is.
Got it. Okay. So, but you can't say for sure that you're driving more than she is, correct?
I can say for sure that Houston is closer to Lake Charles than where I am. Yes.
Greenwood, move on. Don't argue with the man about that. Yeah, we're talking 30 minutes to an hour at best. Okay, so let's it's not worth the fight. Thank you.
Got it. And while you're at work, who watches?
Harley is with my mom.
Your Honor, pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Farah.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Overstreet.
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, let's get some closing statements at this time because I got no other witnesses, so I'll go with that. So at this time, I'll listen to closing statements and I'll do them in the same order. I'll start with you, Ms. Greenwood, then go to Ms. Johnson, then Ms. Farah, and then to the state. I'll tell you, and then to the state, but I think I know what the state's closing is, but go right ahead. So we'll start with you, Ms. Greenwood. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We're back here again. And so my client is just asking for, again, she does want to revisit just having the visitations here in Houston, but she is having the visitations here because of the concerns that she raised in regards to the supervised visits. She is asking that this court admonish Mr. Ursin to communicate with her, give her sufficient notification when he's coming up to pick up and drop off the child, since that's been an issue. She's also asking that he abide by the court in regards to the supervised visits. And she's also asking that that the child is made available for the nighttime calls in regards to when he has the child. And so she's just asking that the visits take place here in Houston, given her concerns for what's happening in Louisiana, and that she be given access to the child while the child is in Louisiana if the court were to rule that way when it comes to nighttime calls. She's also asking that that she receive the proper notification from Mr. Ursin, and even updates if he's going to be late, since the parties are so far away. And there's been issues of just probably not being properly notified. And that's what my client is asking for. And I believe that's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Just to summarize what we're asking for, Mr. Ursin, as Harley's father, just wants an opportunity, or to have the court give him an opportunity to just be a normal, regular dad without parameters in terms of supervisors, supervision, and all of this. I mean, to be honest with you, the fact that we're even coming back on October 11th, I almost would urge the court to kind of see this as a test run of sorts, because if my client messes up, for lack of a better word, then he's got to face you and answer that when we come back on October the 11th. And I know that I haven't been on this case for the past procedural history that you guys have had. However, I do think that the court should grant unsupervised possession to Mr. Ursin, because the testimony has already, by the mother's own testimony, there have been no substantial issues as it pertains to this child's safety. Also, with respect to mother's concerns about these concerns that she has about him being unsupervised, well, you know, they say the greatest predictor of the future is the past. Nothing has happened to this child with my client in Louisiana thus far. Her complaints have been more so grounded in what she doesn't like, what she prefers, what she wants. This has nothing to do with, in actuality, what the family code allows and what a father should be able to do on his own time with his child. So that's that. And then with respect to the Midpoint exchanging in Lake Charles, Louisiana, I think, you know, after several failed or wasted trips to Marlin, Texas, I believe that it would only be in the best interest of Harley, so to speak, for dad to have some kind of reprieve and actually be able to pick her up 2.5 hours away, take her back to Louisiana, or to the Louisiana area town that he lives in, and enjoy his weekend. Because with the time on the road that he's spending just to go pick her up, that's also eating into his possession time. So I ask the court again to just abate any sort of supervised requirement from Mr. Ursin, to order that the parties exchange the child in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And also, lastly, most importantly, that the visits take place in Louisiana, that dad be able to bring his child back to his world in order to be able to see her family and his family and friends on his side in that regard. So I don't think that it would also add, if I may, an additional financial burden to my client to travel from Louisiana to Houston for the weekend, pay for hotel to stay there overnight every day, Friday and Saturday night, to be able to exercise possession with the child. And I think at that point, it would become overly burdensome. So we're asking the court to order that the visits take place in the town in Louisiana where my client resides. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of it. I think it's St. Rose, but in St. Rose, Louisiana. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Farah.
Yes, sir. I just want to be clear. I'm asking for father to get this weekend, which is a 5th weekend, not a 1st weekend, just because it is the longer weekend. And so I have some concerns with regard to the meeting at the Midpoint. I don't disagree that I think the parties should share the burden of travel, particularly in light of the fact that
right now, the judge is seriously considering that since mom moved, dad picks up at the beginning, mom picks up at the end at each other's residence. That's what I'm looking at. So again, because this doesn't seem to be working out very well, so I'll just go with what the code says I can do. So there you go. But I'll let you. But again, we're just looking. I'm looking at this next visit coming up as I'm looking at doing that long term going forward. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. And I would much prefer that Mr. Ursin pick up in Houston and Ms. Mcdavid pick up in Louisiana at his home, primarily because I don't want this child sitting in a parking lot of a police station in some town for 45 minutes because somebody got caught in traffic or whatever. I would prefer the child be in an environment she's more comfortable in. With regard to the paramour restrictions, the parties don't have, they don't feel strongly about it, but there are a lot of people that are coming in and out of this child's life. And I would ask that there be some stability. It is complicated by the fact that now Mr. Ursin is living with a new girlfriend. But I do have some concerns there. And, Your Honor, I would ask that the court admonish these parties to at least try to get along in front of this child because she has been exposed to far too much.
All right, Ms. Overstreet.
The only thing I have, Your Honor, is if you're gonna order that they pick up and drop off at each other's homes, that once you're through with their ruling and we go off of YouTube, that each party be required to give us their address, because I think both of them have moved. I know I don't have Ms. Mcdavid's current address, so I doubt if anybody else does either. And I'm not sure if we have Mr. Ursin's correct address. So if they don't give us the addresses and you order pickup and drop off at their homes, then that's going to be an issue.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, and I'm gonna have to take this under a quick advisement because the judge has been taking a break for the last 45 minutes. So I'm gonna take this under advisement for about 15 minutes and come back and make a ruling, and in the interim, y'all can go in the breakout room and get that data exchange. Probably looking at keeping for this coming up visit in next week for the 5th weekend of the month. I'm looking at still making that be with the grandmother, but after that, in the words of our former president, she's fired. Everything going forward, I'm probably looking at getting with dad's resident, but for this next one, I'm probably just going to go ahead and keep it with grandma for that one last time. But again, that's what I'm looking at doing for the next visit. And if dad wants a visit the first weekend of October, then I'll probably be looking at making that at his residence, and then we'll have those addresses and everything. By then he'd be there 90 days, and I'll feel a lot more comfortable with that being a permanent address after 90. Okay.
Your Honor, may I say something?
I'm sorry.
May I say something?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. Given the tensions between the parties, I would ask that they don't do the residences. So that is
well, I'll make it at a spot, but but I'm looking at making mom go all the way to Louisiana.
Yeah, and I will also note that she did just have a 2-month-old child. So
I know. I thought that was at the top of my head, because we're only doing the other way. But hey, those are the circumstances. So babies travel. Believe me. Oh God, they don't travel well sometimes, but they travel. So
yeah. So and that would be like, and I know she just got, I think, the release to start driving. This is what I've told, because she did, not to put her business out there, how she had the child. So I don't know if she has any restrictions regarding driving or the length of time.
I'll find that out before I come back in, and I'll let y'all get in the breakout room. But I'm getting ready to go ahead and take a 15 minutes break, come back and make my rulings. Thank you.
Okay. And all right, I'll ask her in regards to that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And of course, I'm sorry, that may mean she's got to use a designated agent. So it is what it is. So thank you. I'll be back on in 15 minutes. Thank you. But I got to keep YouTube running, so y'all go to a breakout room to get that data. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. I don't know, since I'm not savvy enough, but I don't know that since they've already been in one room, can we all move room to room? Like, can I move everybody into room 1?
You might want to use a room that hasn't been used before, because sometimes Zoom doesn't like that. And room 2's never been used, room 4's never been used, room 5's never been used. So you can just move them into different, do that way, and that way they'll automatically get done. All right.
Okay. Then I think I'm gonna try to put everybody in room 4.
Okay.
Y'all have to be invited, I guess. Let's see.
Okay.
Just move them from the rooms they're already in, and they'll automatically
right. Okay. I think it's
okay.
working.
I see join 4.
Let's see.
Let me mute myself. Ms. Mcdavid.
Your Honor, I think the parties have reached an agreement. I'm going to put on the record what I think it is. And if I'm not correct, then the attorneys will let me know. And then they can question their clients whether or not it's actually the agreement.
All right, let me go ahead and put the recorder on. Thank you.
Okay, just let me know.
All right, we're back on the record on Falls County calls number CV 41657. You may proceed at this time, Ms. Overstreet. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, these are gonna be the third temporary orders. Everything is going to stay the same as it was, except for we're changing the visitation. And then Mr. Ursin is again gonna be ordered to provide information from, when the child was born to the present, including either W-2s, tax returns, or paycheck stubs from his employers for purposes of retroactive. He's also going to be ordered to bring bank statements or other documentation regarding the recent sale of his home. Then the parties are going to have mutual injunctions, which is going to be provided by Ms. Johnson. I think she said it's the ones that are typically used in Dallas County. And I don't remember all of them, but they did go over them in the breakout room. And then as far as the visitation, the parties beginning on Friday, the 30th of August at 7 p.m. and ending at 6 p.m. on Monday, September 1st, Mr. Ursin is going to have visitation with the child. It's going to be again supervised by his mother, Marilyn Ursin. And if he doesn't travel with the child, he'll take the child to her home and notify Ms. Mcdavid that he is there. And then again, beginning 7 p.m. on Friday, the 4th of October, and ending at 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 6th of October, then it'll be the same visitation. While he has visitation with the child, Ms. Mcdavid is going to have FaceTime access to visit with the child from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on the Saturdays. Mr. Ursin has to give her 24 hours notice that he's going to exercise these visits by app close. They are going to surrender the child at the beginning of each period of possession. Ms. Mcdavid will surrender to Mr. Ursin at the Lake Charles Police Department located at 830 Enterprise Boulevard, Lake Charles, Louisiana. And then he will surrender the child to her at the same location. And also, I did forget to say this, Mr. Ursin shall have FaceTime visits with the child from 7 to 8 p.m., 7:30 to 8 p.m. On Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays during the week that he does not have visitation. And I think that is everything, but I could have left something out. So if I did, y'all let me know.
All right, then I'll start with you. Are you there, Ms. Greenwood?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, my video was making it sound really janky. Sorry.
Don't worry about it then. Okay, I just want to make sure you were still there. All right, Ms. Greenwood, is that your understanding of the agreement, ma'am?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. And I think the only thing that we just need to, I think what that was missing, now that I think about it, was that Miss Fair is going to be visiting with the child.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
I need to put that in there. And where and what time?
It's gonna be in the afternoon, and she'll provide more details to Miss Mcdavid. Is going to be in person.
Okay, so just put that she's going to visit with the child the afternoon of the 29th. Is that good, Nora?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that's September, right?
Yes, September 29th.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me because I did forget that part.
No problem. That's why we're here. We didn't, yeah. Yes, Your Honor. But apart from that, that is my understanding of everything. Yes.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding as well.
All right, then both parties are already under oath, so I'll let you call each of your individual clients and confirm that that's their understanding also, starting with you, Ms. Greenwood.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mcdavid, please mute yourself.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Mcdavid, you heard the what was said by the OAG, Ms. Overstreet, and we're just going to go through that. Are you in agreement that you will exchange the child in Lake Charles on August?
Ms. Greenwood, just ask whether or not she's in agreement. It's 2:00 in the afternoon and the judge hadn't gone to lunch yet, okay?
Got it. Okay, just want to make sure. Some people, some judges require us.
Oh yeah, I'm tired of coffee and peanuts in here, okay? Let's do this.
All right. Are you in agreement with everything that Ms. Overstreet said? Do you understand and agree to everything that she just said?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Johnson.
I have no questions of this witness, Your Honor.
All right, then Ms. Overstreet.
I have no questions.
Ms. Farah.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, then, Ms. Johnson, call your client, please. Thank you.
Your Honor, I will call Mr. Shamar Ursin.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ursin, you've heard the the Assistant Attorney General, Ms. Overstreet, read the terms of the agreement. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, I did have one question on it. Oh,
Okay.
well, I thought you were asking me, did I understand it? Like I did,
No,
I
I'm
did
saying-
understand one part of it.
Okay, what part of that she read did you not know was part of the agreement?
Okay, the only part I was making sure that was still the same as it has been, because she said, my mom is the supervised part. Is that still, she only has to sleep at?
Your
Yes.
Honor?
Yes, I said, you know, she gets to go all the way from mom and grandma. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am, I'm in agreement.
Okay, and I think that's it. Yeah, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor. I know you were close for time.
All right, then, Ms. Greenwood, you there?
Yes, Your Honor, I have no questions for this witness, Mr. Ursin.
All right, Ms. Overstreet?
I have no questions.
Okay, Ms. Farah?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and grant the new order. I'll ask that it be circulated. I'm sorry, Ms. Overstreet, you had something?
I just need a clarification because I didn't understand what you said when Mr. Ursin said that. So,
It's the child will spend the night at the grandmother's residence, but obviously she's allowed to go with dad wherever dad's going at that point. But at night, she goes
Okay,
back.
okay, because that wasn't written in the last order, so I just need to change that.
Well, it was the restriction, so yeah, but go ahead and put that in.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else then, Ms. Overstreet?
No, thank you.
All right then, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and grant the new order. We set the visitation for both this for the fifth weekend of the September and the first weekend in October as per the agreement. I'll go ahead and make the exchange at the police department. I had a different spot. The sheriff's department is a lot bigger and a lot nicer. So at the final hearing, that may be, if this is the thing we're gonna end up doing, then I'll maybe looking at changing the exchange point, because I looked it up on Google and the sheriff's department's a lot bigger and a lot nicer. So yeah.
Your Honor, I'm actually from there, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
the only reason that I chose, or not chose, but suggested that is because the police department is right off of I-10, where the
Okay.
party would be driving, whereas the
Right.
sheriff's department, and you're absolutely right, it is really nice and big. They would have to get off of I-10 and go through the city to
Yeah,
get,
I saw
yeah,
that
so-
too, so, but yeah, not a problem. But for right now, we'll do it. If it works out this time, they don't mind staying at the Motel 6 instead of the Hilton. Okay, that's all right with me. We're going for it. All right. So,
Okay.
all right, then. No problem. Anyway, I'll go ahead and as soon as we get up, as soon as we finish up, I'll go ahead and move this Zoom code over to the 11th. If there's anything else either side needs, let me know. And like I was telling Ms. Overstreet earlier, I know we have issues that didn't come up today that we'll take up. I know one of them last time was income and job and all this, and Mr. Ursin talked about going to school, but what his background is. I'll let everyone know, or I wanted to let you know that the judge has an MBA in finance too. I'm a member of the business fraternity. I get stuff all the time telling me how much I should be able to make if I went to Louisiana, Florida, Texas. So it's not going to be before the court, but the judge has a working knowledge about all these items. So I just want to let you know, Ms. Johnson, it is what it is. All right. So,
I understand.
all right.
We'll
Good
be
enough
ready.
then. All right.
Thank you.
I'll see everybody
And-
back in.
And Your Honor, just so you know, just one quick thing, I'm gonna try to get this all done by next Wednesday, so we can send it to you either Wednesday or Thursday to sign, so it'll be signed by the time of the first visitation.
Right. No, I was assuming that this, we need a signed order, okay? That way,
All right.
each side can enforce what they need to enforce. All right. I'm sorry. All three sides. I've actually had ad litem's doing enforcements lately. So it is so there we go.
Okay,
So, all right then. All right, folks, everybody be safe out there. And I'll see y'all in October.
What happened to precipitate the breakup?
Her cousin shot me. It was believed that her and her family paid for that to be done.
do you think it'd be in the best interest of the child for you to go get a job? Why did you quit that job?
Because I was shot by Arisha Mcdavid's cousin.
You know what happened to the person that actually was shot dad? Did they get charged, or do you know what the outcome of that was?
I think he's in prison. No, but yeah, when they told me that, I thought that they were crazy talking, but no, it's for real.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't something that they said that was justifiable and he didn't go to jail behind it. So yeah.
No, yeah, it was in the Dallas news.
Okay.